Your brain is a battlefield. Every day it's bombarded, notifications buzzing like flies, deadlines looming like storm clouds, and a never-ending to-do list stretching out like an infinite horizon. You want to focus, to get things done, to finally feel in control, but it's as if your mind has a million hands pulling you in every direction at once. The noise is relentless. You're drowning in distraction, and the harder you try to swim to the surface, the more exhausted you feel. But what if there was a way out? What if an ancient method, tested by time and rooted in the wisdom of the East, could silence the chaos, sharpen your focus to a razor's edge, and help you start crushing your goals with calm confidence? In this journey, I'm going to unveil the Lotus Method, a transformative approach drawn from Eastern philosophy that can take your scattered, restless thoughts and mold them into a serene, powerful force. Miss this, and you might stay trapped in the quicksand of distraction forever. But stick with me, and you'll discover how to change your life, starting right now. Part 1. Gohan's struggle with resistance. Meet Gohan. He's not so different from you or me. Gohan is brimming with potential, dreams as big as the sky and goals as clear as a mountain stream. He wants to sculpt his body into peak fitness, climb the ladder in his career, and enrich his personal life with deeper connections and meaning. On paper, he's got it all figured out. He's the kind of guy who watches motivational videos until his eyes blur, subscribes to every self-help podcast under the sun, and has a bookshelf groaning under the weight of personal development tomes. Gohan isn't lazy. He's hungry, but every time he tries to take a step forward, something invisible yanks him back. It's not a lack of desire. Gohan has got fire in his belly, but when the moment comes to act, to hit the gym, to tackle that big work project, to sit down and have that tough conversation, his mind rebels. Instead of drafting that proposal, he's doom-scrolling through his phone, lost in a sea of memes and headlines. Instead of lacing up his sneakers, he's sprawled on the couch, daydreaming about the body he'll eventually have. He plans meticulously, color-coded schedules, apps pinging reminders, but when it's go time, his brain whispers, "Not yet. Let's do something easier instead." He's caught in a maddening loop of procrastination, self-doubt, and frustration. The worst part, he knows it's happening. He sees himself spiraling, but he can't claw his way out. This isn't just Gohan's struggle. It's ours too. It's the human condition laid bare. Our minds are wired to dodge discomfort like a cat dodging water. When a challenge looms, something hard, unfamiliar, or risky, our brain scrambles for the nearest exit. Social media, video games, endless snacks, even staring at the ceiling imagining a better life. These are the mind's safe havens. Gohan feels like he's at war with himself, and no amount of motivational hype can break the stalemate. He's starting to suspect that rah-rah speeches and pump-up playlists aren't enough. He needs something stronger, something rooted deeper than fleeting adrenaline. In Eastern philosophy, the mind is often likened to a wild monkey, restless, impulsive, swinging from branch to branch, chattering incessantly as it dodges anything that feels heavy or hard. The Buddha put it bluntly, your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. That's Gohan's reality in a nutshell. His mind isn't just distracted, it's actively sabotaging him, dragging him away from his dreams toward the cozy quicksand of comfort. Ancient monks saw this same battle play out in their own lives and devised ways to tame that monkey, to bring the mind into focus, clarity, and peace. Gohan's resistance isn't unique, it's universal. The mind, by its nature, recoils from challenges, craving safety in the familiar. But here's where the Lotus Method begins to shine. It teaches us that this resistance isn't an enemy to crush with brute force. It's a signal to heed. The first step isn't to fight harder, it's to wake up. Awareness is the foundation. Gohan's breakthrough comes when he stops beating himself up for procrastinating and starts noticing why it happens. His mind resists because it's trying to shield him from discomfort, fear of failure, the ache of effort, the sting of uncertainty. Once he sees that, he can ease up on the self-criticism. This is lesson 1 of the Lotus Method. Before you can change your mind, you have to understand it. For Gohan, the battle lines are clear. His mind resists because that's its default setting. But now he knows the game plan isn't to wrestle it into submission, it's to observe it. When he catches himself reaching for his phone instead of his laptop, he doesn't curse himself out. He pauses, takes a breath, and says, "There it is again, my mind looking for the easy way out." No judgment, just awareness. That shift alone starts to loosen resistance's grip. But awareness is just the beginning. How does Gohan take the next step? The Lotus Method has an answer. Part 2. Embracing the flow of life. Gohan's old playbook, grit your teeth, push harder, force it through, has left him battered and stuck. He's tired of feeling like he's slamming his head against a wall. So he digs deeper, searching for wisdom beyond willpower. That's when he stumbles across Lao Tzu, the ancient Taoist sage, and a concept that flips his world upside down. Wu Wei, the art of non-resistance. Lao Tzu wrote, by letting it go, it all gets done. At first, Gohan's baffled. Letting go? How does that get anything done? He spent years believing success comes from white-knuckling his way through obstacles. But the more he mulls it over, the more it clicks. Maybe he's been struggling so much because he's been fighting life itself. What if hard things didn't have to feel like a war? What if there was a way to face challenges without clenching every muscle in his body? The Lotus Method, steeped in Eastern thought like Taoism, whispers a radical truth. Stop battling resistance and start flowing with it. Wu Wei isn't about giving up or slacking off. It's about moving with life's current instead of thrashing against it. Think of a river. When you swim upstream, every stroke is a slog. But when you align with the flow, you glide effortlessly. Gohan's been swimming upstream his whole life, exhausting himself for scraps of progress. Now he's intrigued. Could there be a gentler, smarter way? In today's hustle-obsessed world, Wu Wei feels like heresy. We're told to grind, to conquer, to dominate our to-do lists with sheer force. But Lao Tzu saw something different. When we push too hard, life pushes back harder. Resistance breeds more resistance. Gohan's been locked in that tug-of-war, ordering his mind to a focus, damn it, only to watch it dig its heels in deeper. The Lotus Method, channeling Taoist wisdom, suggests a shift. Work with your nature, not against it. Gohan starts experimenting. When a tough task pops up, a grueling workout, a brain-melting report, he doesn't grit his teeth and charge. He pauses. He breathes. He tells himself, this is part of the flow. I don't need to hate it. And something magical happens. The task feels lighter. Take his workouts. Before, Gohan would dread the gym, psyching himself up like he was heading into battle. Now he approaches it differently. He accepts the sweat, the burn, the shaky legs as part of life's rhythm, not enemies to defeat, but waves to ride. He's not forcing anymore. He's flowing. The Lotus Method's second step is this: release resistance and find harmony in effort. Gohan's not battling his mind. He's dancing with it. Where he once stalled out, he now moves forward with a calm ease he didn't know was possible. But flowing isn't the whole picture. To deepen this shift, Gohan needs to learn how to quiet the noise entirely. That's where the next phase begins. Part 3, the power of stillness and reflection. Gohan's mind is still a chatterbox. Even with his newfound flow, it's restless, thoughts darting like minnows, worries bubbling up uninvited. He's ready for more. That's when he discovers Zen Buddhism and Zazen, the practice of sitting meditation. It sounds simple. Sit still, breathe, do nothing. But when Gohan tries it, he's floored by how hard it is. 5 minutes in, his brain's a circus, replaying yesterday's awkward conversation, plotting tomorrow's errands, itching to check his phone. He spent his life in motion, believing productivity means constant doing. But Zen Master Dogen's words hit him like a thunderclap. If you can't find the truth right where you are, where else do you expect to find it? Gohan's epiphany lands hard. He's been chasing clarity in action, more tasks, more hustle, when maybe it's been waiting in stillness all along. Through Zazen, he starts to see. At first it's chaos, his mind a stormy lake, waves crashing everywhere. But as he sits, day after day something shifts. The storm quiets, the waves settle. His thoughts don't vanish, but they slow, like leaves drifting on a breeze. It's as if the mud in his mind sinks, leaving the water clear. In that stillness, Gohan sees his challenges anew. That work project he's been avoiding? Not a monster, just a puzzle. That fight with his friend? Not a crisis, just a moment to mend. Stillness strips away the drama, revealing what's real. The Lotus Method's third step is cultivating stillness. Gohan learns that, like the lotus flower's roots, anchoring it in muddy depths, stillness grounds him. He used to think a racing mind was his strength, proof he was thinking, planning, living. Now he sees it was noise drowning out his potential. In quiet reflection, he finds a laser-like focus he'd never tapped before. Instead of lunging at tasks half-cocked, he sits, breathes and lets solutions rise naturally. One day, stuck on a work problem, he tries as-en instead of forcing an answer. 20 minutes later, the fix dawns on him clear as day. Stillness isn't passive, it's powerful. Gohan makes it a habit. 10 minutes of silence each morning. No phone, no noise, just him and his breath. His mind sharpens. His stress softens. When he faces a tough task now, he's not a frantic mess. He's steady, deliberate calm. The lotus flower blooms from mud, and Gohan realizes his struggles. The stress, the doubt, are his mud. Through stillness, they nourish his growth. But clarity alone won't cut it. Gohan's got the calm. Now he needs to wield it. Part 4. Turning reflection into action. Stillness changes Gohan. His mind, once a tangled jungle, becomes a honed blade, focused, decisive, ready. But he knows clarity's no good if it just sits there. He needs to act. Inspiration strikes from an unlikely source, the Shaolin monks. These legends didn't just meditate in silence for hours. They forged their bodies into weapons through martial arts, blending mental peace with physical precision. The Shaolin saw mind and body as two halves of a whole. A still mind fuels intentional action, and disciplined action sharpens the mind. Gohan's light bulb moment hits. Meditation's given him a clear head, but now it's time to move. He starts small. Take his workouts. Before, he'd stumble through them, distracted and sloppy. Now he channels his stillness into every rep, each lift deliberate, each breath synced. It's not about rushing to the finish, it's about being present. He feels like a Shaolin monk practicing a kata, every move purposeful, no energy wasted. This spills into his work too. That report he's been dodging, he sits, focuses, and tackles it one paragraph at a time. No multitasking, no phone, just him and the task. The Lotus Method's fourth step is action with intention. Gohan learns he doesn't need to juggle a dozen things at once. One task done fully trumps 10 half-baked efforts. The Shaolin wisdom sinks in. A chaotic mind breeds sloppy action. A calm mind breeds mastery. Gohan used to flail, starting projects, dropping them, starting again. Now he's precise. He picks a goal, say, learning guitar, sets aside 20 minutes and gives it everything. No distractions, no excuses. The result? He's not just doing, he's excelling. Tasks that once overwhelmed him now feel doable. He's not scattered anymore. He's a monk in motion, calm and unstoppable. But there's one last hurdle, time. Part 5. The Lotus and the Art of Patience. Gohan's on a roll. Stillness, focus, action. He's ticking boxes and feeling good. But then impatience creeps in. He's been at this for weeks. Where's the six-pack? The promotion? The perfect life? Doubt nibbles at him. Am I doing this wrong? Then he remembers the lotus flower, a symbol revered by Eastern monks. It doesn't burst from the mud overnight. It grows slowly, pushing through darkness, trusting the process until it blooms in quiet splendor. The monks taught patience as a virtue, not weakness, but strength. Gohan sees it now. He's been rushing his own bloom. The Lotus Method's final lesson is the art of patience. Gohan lets go of the need for instant results. He keeps showing up, meditating, acting with intent, trusting that growth is brewing beneath the surface. When frustration flares, he pictures the lotus, steady, unhurried, beautiful in its time. One day, mid-workout, he notices his arms are stronger, not ripped yet, but solid. Progress, subtle but real. He smiles. The bloom's coming, he just has to wait. So, where are you? Are you wrestling resistance, or are you ready to flow? Start small, sit still for 5 minutes, tackle one task with full focus, be patient with your pace. Your growth, like the lotus, will unfold when it's ready. If this sparked something in you, hit subscribe. Let's master the mind together.